welcome back to another episode of What We Talking About. We got the good brother Tim with us.
What's up, brother Tim?
Yes,
What's up,
what's
brother?
good?
How you, man? Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
on the,
man.
on the humble. So Tim, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Tell us where you're from, and tell us the business that you're building to, so people can know a little bit about what you do.
All right, what's going on, y'all? Glad to be here. My name is Tim House. I used to live in the Bronx. Now, BX in the house. Definitely 50 years of hip hop.
Right.
Definitely, you know what I mean? Which I think is more than 50 years. I don't know who came up with the number, but
Right.
it has to be more
Right.
than 50 years, you know what I mean? But I came up in the BX, you know, regular way, struggles, you know, family with mother and father and stuff like that, you know? And then as I got as a teenager, I just started just being a teenager, man, you know, just doing things and stuff like that. And
Let me ask you a question. What part of the Bronx did you grow up in?
several parts of the Bronx, you know what I mean? Like when I was like maybe about 2 or 3, I was definitely on Allerton Avenue, White Plains Road.
Arlington and White Plains.
That's where it started.
East Side.
East side, you know what I mean? Then it ended up being on Prospect Avenue, Crotona, Belmont,
West Side.
you know, around that area. Then it went,
That's what that like 180.
yeah, 180 Crotona,
Tremont, right?
129, y'all should know Crotona Park and all that
Okay.
stuff like that. And then it moved to the west side on University, Tremont, River Park Towers. Shout out to River Park Towers. That's where I was definitely at on my teenage years too. You know, just experience. You know what I
So
mean?
what you saying is that we basically grew up in the same neighborhood. What you saying? I'm from 174th University.
Whoa, that's the train you had to get off.
But I'm basically
You know what I mean, too?
like I basically grew up a couple blocks up the hill from Sedgwick. You know, I grew up the steps.
Okay, so we
You know what I'm
went
saying?
from Davidson.
Nah, Davidson is a little further over. I'm literally like right up the steps. Like you got Sedgwick, then you got Undercliff, then you got Popham, then you got Montgomery.
So you're around that area, around
From
that.
the hood, bro. Listen. I used to be on the dog side.
But there's mad stairs, you know what I mean, in the BX.
Yeah.
It gotta be like 160 steps.
Yeah.
In the BX. Webster, you know how joint
yes,
going
right.
on Webster on
Right.
Clay. You know, it's just mad crazy. But shout out to the BX, man. Like the BX
The
was
birthplace of hip hop.
so fun growing up, man. I'm telling you, man, it was nothing really. I mean, in my era, it was nothing really about guns. Nobody did no gun. If somebody had a gun, you was like, wow, that was like a big thing. But we didn't really have that. It was all about. It was about the fist. Like, you know, we had a problem. I get a couple of people. We come in your neighborhood. It go down. We throw down such and such fist, sticks, whatever.
So would you say that it has to do with the new generation and not really understanding, the honor of things?
The new generation, what I think is, what I see, peer pressure, and they don't want to get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Because if you get your ass kicked by your peers, I mean, when I did it, in my time, they clown me, but they respect you.
Right.
You know, because you put in work. But these new generations, man, that peer pressure, they really can't handle that. Like, and then it's like social media, and you don't want to get punked by your peers. Next thing you know, you get punked by your peers. Now it's on social media, going views, you
Get
know?
viral.
And then, you know, stuff like that, you don't know the person's mind, such and such, stuff like that. He can commit suicide, he can turn around and turn that anger, come to you. You see what I mean? Like, it's just different, the new generation. It's
Yeah,
just,
they a little wild. They a little mental.
and a lot of that too, I grew up with my parents. So I'm scared of my parents.
So wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question, right? So do you think that because your parents was involved in your life, that it made you be a little more disciplined, it made you have some honor, it made you understand cause and effect and consequence?
100%. Because what you see, like now, we used to believe in stuff, but you know what I mean? But now, I see my parents go out there and work, you know, and tell you about things and stuff like that. So if I see them go out there and do it, then, you know, that's the thing that I have to do to fit into this world.
So I'm sorry to cut you off. What did so if you don't mind me asking, what were your parents into? Like, what was their careers like that they had? You know, that inspired you to become an entrepreneur.
Well, what I can remember, my father used to work for the housing department, and somewhere down the line he ended up becoming working at transit.
Okay.
And that's where he stayed at till he retired.
Okay.
My mother, she was with different jobs, but the last job she ended up being with was working at the UN. So I just had that mother and father, like I said, they put the fear into me.
So would you say that they instilled a certain level of thought process and structure
Yes.
and
Yes.
things
yes.
to really just put you in the right direction?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And as I grow old, as I was growing older.
When you mean as you mature, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well that too. As I matured and all that, I always seemed like my mother and father was not just my friends, they was everything. They was my protector, they was my God, they was my inspiration. And people in the street no more, I didn't have to prove nothing to them no more because I didn't really care.
What we talking about? You already know what I'm talking about.
So
What we talking about? Money,
So,
what
all
we
right,
talking
so after you got to, let's say, all right, your mid-20s, what was the, because I know I'm going to skip past the wild state. Let's skip past the wild state. Let's go.
There's always going to be a wild state,
Right,
no matter
right.
what.
So
you
let's
know what I
get
mean?
past
To
that,
the beginning
right?
to the end. It's always going to be a wild state, but
Uh-huh.
it's how you calm it, how you mature. It's
Right.
when to spit it and when not to spit it. When to just to hold back and just be calm, and then when to just go 100. So you gotta, all that is upbringing. You know?
So what did you, what made you become an entrepreneur?
Well, somewhere down the line, I always had the personality. I mean, wherever I go, I can go to the gas station, I can go to cleaners, wherever I go, I would always meet people and have that energy. One thing where I knew that I had something, I definitely had something taken off. I lived in River Park Towers. And
Towers,
shout out to the Towers. You already know.
building 40, building 20.
So my father was in the
building 30.
bathroom, and he wanted me to go get him some toilet paper, which the supermarket is downstairs. So the whole process would take maybe 15 minutes, maybe, give a little take. It took an hour.
Like that elevator is crazy.
No, it wasn't elevator, nothing.
Okay.
It was just me going, seeing people, talking, stopping, such and such chopping, checking this, looking at that, and all that took like an hour and something. And I came back and Pops was tight because he had to sit in that bathroom and wait until I came back. So I was God at the time, like controlling stuff. But as being an entrepreneur, I thought I had that spark until I had a friend of mine that was doing internet radio in Brooklyn. And one day she called me and told me to come down for an interview. And I'm just a regular dude. You know what I mean? Go to work, hang out, smoke, chill. I'm just a regular dude. So I didn't understand that. So I was like, all right, I'll go down there. So we go down there and I do the interview and all that, and we connect. And we just had that energy. Black folks. You got that energy sometimes, and sometimes you don't have that energy.
Yeah, sometimes we get a little hostile.
Yeah, so, so we doing an interview and we clicked. So at the same time, she was asking me like, we need to do this together. We need to do some hosting together. And at the same time, I'm saying to myself, I think I can do this. If I get a team of good people, good energy, I can do my own thing. So I told her, no disrespect, but I need to talk to the person whose establishment this is.
Right, the producer.
Yeah. And next thing you know, I had my own show. I got a group of guys, and it just took off. It was just, it was just crazy. Like I was just doing interviews, and at the time, I was interviewing anybody. People on the train, crackheads, dopeheads, hookers, like
We understand.
just to get people in the studio, and I'll take it from there.
Shout out to the bass heads.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the thieves too. I had to really keep my wallet at home when I had to interview
Shout
you,
out
but
to the thieves.
it's just the energy. Like if you got that good energy, when that good energy is in the room, and you can tell when it's negative energy in the room, you know, like such and such. So I just took off, and it was just crazy, you know, the energy and all that, and it was just good. But somewhere down the line, the guys that I brought in, we was all nobodies now. We all had no history or anything with communication, radio, internet, none of that.
Right.
We was being taught. So somewhere down the line, they got the bug that they can do the same thing that we're doing together. But now they want to branch off by themselves.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah, you know how that goes. Divide and conquer.
you know, but
Split them apart.
but somewhere down the line, I could have did that. You know what I mean? I could have had the bug, but I knew I couldn't do it by myself. You can't achieve nothing by yourself. don't
I
care
see you shaking your
what
head over there.
are. You know what I mean?
What you thinking on
You
that?
can't achieve anything.
he right.
Whatever you do in life, you need help. You can't. Somebody tell me, oh, I got $1 billion. I don't need help. They're lying, bro.
They ain't get that $1 billion to go on their own.
When they want to invest, somebody has to take that and invest and do it for you. If you need a loan to do that, somebody has to do it for you. If you don't have the knowledge of doing it, you don't know real estate, you don't know investments and all that, you letting somebody do it for you.
It's a lot of moving parts to
Yeah,
success.
and you need help. Nobody can do anything. God can't even do anything by himself. You see what I'm saying? So somewhere down the line, they got that
Right,
bug.
right, I feel what
They
you're
got that bug, and they left me by myself. And luckily, the lady who put me on let me do all the radio stuff in her studio. So she kind of seen it coming. She seen it coming. I didn't see it coming because I used to always wear dark glasses. But she seen it coming, and she always used to.
So what's let me cut you off. So what's the name of your radio station right now?
My radio station right now is called On the Block Radio with Tim House. You know, I'm
On
Tim
the
House.
Block Radio with Tim House.
And where can we find you?
Well,
Where
right
can-
now,
where can
like I said,
find you?
I haven't been doing radio for at least about 2 years. You know,
But why the break?
financial reasons. I wanted other careers to do. I ended up working for a major multi-billion dollar company. So I wanted to experience that. But number one, I didn't have a team no more.
We understand
And
that part.
I couldn't do it by myself, man. You know, I was doing it, me and a young lady, we was doing it for at least about 10 years straight. Like, and she had the clientele where she brought a lot of entertainers into the studio to get these interviews done, you know? But there was a time where I had an opportunity to make money and you know, like, I'm the type of person I try to do things.
You gotta go. Basically, I know what you're saying. So basically, you went with the money because you needed to get that income.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I get you.
Yeah, and with that money, you can take that and move that and
Invest.
move around, stuff like that. But I told my co-hosts, like, we still have the slot. We still have the slot. We got it there forever. We paying. It's no problem. I'll pay by half, but I can't be there. But you're there, and you can still rock it. You can bring anybody co-host you want. And she was on some, oh, I'm not gonna do anything without you type of, you know what
Shenanigans.
I'm saying? Like, no, it's not, it's about the bag. I'm paying my half. I'll pay for the whole 6 months. It's nothing. And I'm about to get this money, you know, but she didn't want to do it, so we end up.
You know what I think will happen sometimes with people, man? They kind of like, especially us. You know what I say?
We say us.
You know what I
Ask
mean?
him what he talk about when he say us. He talk about black folks. He talk about co-hosts.
You know what I'm saying? My colored people out there, you know what I'm saying? Like we go through situations and whatnot, so and we don't assist each other.
But can I don't mean to cut you off. You gotta check other nationalities out. You see what I'm saying? You got blacks, you got Chinese, you got white, you got Jews. Check all the nationalities. Jews will wear the same thing for decades, same clothes and all that, and have billions in the bank. Black folks, we can't do that. No, I'm wrong.
We can.
There was one person in black history that had so much money, but when you seen him, he looked like he didn't have so much money. And he's the only black drug dealer in history that never got arrested. and always had his back.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
One person, one. All these drug dealers and all that in every borough, every state, every all that went down. This one never got touched, never was in the radar for years. Fed his neighborhood and then some, and always dressed like, oh no, you know, no chains, nothing fancy, no cars, throwbacks, everything was old and dirty. And nobody knew that people that he was supplying, knew that he was getting it. But if you looked at him, you'd be like, him? He's getting what? He's supplying a whole, how we say, I ain't gonna tell you who it is, because if I give you little hints, then you know. He was supplying his borough, put it that way. So now you narrow it down, it's not a state, it's a borough. And he was supplying his borough for decades until his death.
What they talking about? This money, what I'm talking about. What we talking about? Money, what we talking about? What they talking about? This money, what I'm talking about. What we talking about? Money, what we talking about? What they talking about?
Until his death. He's the only one that had money. He's the only.
You gotta give us the answer to this behind the scenes.
Right.
Wait, you should know if you don't know Black history.
Well, yeah, I ain't gonna put that into Black history. That's why I don't.
No, I'm just saying it's hood history.
Oh yeah, hood history.
And hood history is better. To me, it's better than Black history. Because knowing your hood history is just as thing. Because you knew how they moved in such and such, and you like, you know what? I'm not moving that.
I feel you.
I'm moving
nah,
this.
Yeah. The hood is like the place where the intellectuals, the ignorant intellectuals dwell. Let me say it like that.
Yeah.
And let me say that respectfully, guys. Let me say that respectfully, and I say that because the options that we have access to in the hood are slim to none. So that's why I say what I just said. You understand?
But why is that? Why is different nationalities?
You ever been in the hood? Like I'm saying, after 9 o'clock, I'm saying like the police activity gets different. Everything gets different once it gets dark in the hood. Like
why is that?
Because the hood, for some reason, does hood stuff.
That's a fact.
You get adapt to that. You see what I'm saying? You get adapt to that hood stuff. That's why they know they can come to the hood, they can get these crimes, they can get these charges and all that. Because us, we like to be loud. We like to be seen. You gotta see me. You see what I'm saying? And when you see me, then what? You see me, then what?
Hold on. All right, because we from the same neighborhood, right? So we argue, right? I used to be down in the towers. Greg. What I'm saying? The homie. You know what I'm saying? He an arguer. You know what I'm saying? He definitely gonna argue. We having a debate about something. We gonna argue about it. I think that's just one of the ways that we communicate because we wasn't taught how to communicate respectfully to one another. You know what I'm saying? So basically, we had to find a median in a way that we could talk to each other and then not be disrespectful. So that's why I think that we talk to each other in such an aggressive manner at times. But it also has helped us to harden that outer shell. So now we can deal with a lot of different strenuous conversations.
Not having a lot of the things that you supposed to have.
Right, like you see other cultures, when they get around, black folks, we start yelling and screaming at each other. They think that it's about to be violent, something bad's about to happen. But where it is,
but sometimes it is.
Well, we know that, but most of the time we just communicate it.
It ain't just black folks. I'm scared of black folks. You see what I'm saying? When I see black folks, sometimes I gotta be like such and such because we know how black folks are.
Well, I ain't gonna say that. I'm scared of white folks.
I'm scared of.
They scared me.
I'm scared of black folks, white folks. It's just all nationalities. I'm scared of human beings. Put it that way. I covered everything. Because you never know what's going on.
We talking shit. We talking shit, by the way. You know what I'm saying? No.
But when white people
racist connotations.
No racist connotations.
Not yet, but.
You know what I'm saying?
But when white people see black folks, they come. You know why? Because the media,
well, it's
what they see on
that
YouTube, what they see. These white folks never been in hoods, never been a black folks' problems, but they see stuff. They see stuff, and that's how we feed it.
But you also got to keep in mind that the civil rights movement, you got to keep in mind that. You also got to keep in mind when we were slaves and we was getting out of slavery, one of the main reasons why they ended slavery, and a lot of black people they don't know this, is because there was a lot of rebellions going on. So they figured, you know what? Before these motherfuckers burn us out, burn the house, the buildings down, before they rape and pillage and do everything, let's set them free, let's give them a couple boundaries, let's keep them mentally enslaved and kill it instead of keeping them physically enslaved. And we know that these are facts. You understand? When we look into history, so we have to keep all that in mind. You know what I'm saying? For the ways that we do things now. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a saying I remember my brother and a couple of his friends came up with. It was called government, right? But spelled differently, right? Ghettos depressed in various areas mainly endure negative treatment, right? But we can't forget why. Because at the end of the day, still in the Constitution to this day, we still 3/4 of a minute. Yeah. So, like, no matter what, in the paper, on that piece of paper that everybody in the United States follows and recognizes, that shit still said. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, no matter how, you know what I'm saying, under slavery or whatever, you gotta still remember where we came from. So that's why it's always gonna be that little bit of, that negative, that energy where, when they come around, they gonna think like, oh shit, Nat Turner, oh shit, they might just wild out on us. They might just took that 400 years and be like, fuck that. Because
it's like they waiting for the next one.
Because when you do something wrong to somebody, right? When you do something negative to somebody, do something wrong to somebody, you always have to keep in the back of your mind that this person might want to get revenge, or his brother, or his sister, or his cousin, or his family. Because look at the movies, right? In the movies, right? What happens is some guy, right? Let's say Batman, right? Batman's mother and father was killed. Right? He had to grow up by himself, right? So his revenge on the world was to go learn karate, learn all these different things so he could find the people who killed his mother and father and avenge their death. Boom, that's one movie. We could go into Transformers, we could go into all these movies that they showed us, all based around war and revenge. Because that's what they put in our heads, because that's the way that they've been moving and living for the last 400 or 500 years. Even before they came to America, everything in their lifestyle is based around war and conquering. So, like, if you look at that from a certain point of view, why do you think we move the way we move in America? Why do you think we so violent with each other? Because it's not something that's just like indoctrinated in the movies, the TV, and everything like that. That shit is indoctrinated in the people who brought us here.
But why are we violent with each other?
What you mean? All right, so look, if you got a bunch of people trying to get, like they said, the crab in the barrel effect, right? I understand that effect, right? So we all trying to get out of somewhere, right? Because down there it's nasty, it's dirty, it's scary, or it's bug-filled, ridden, or disease-ridden, right? We're trying to get out of the hole, right? So if we all trying to get out of the hole, right? Let's remember that example I gave you the other day. I said, yo, if you come to the hole, right, and I throw a rope down into the hole, but I'm throwing the rope down to pull him out because I know I can help him. I can't help the whole other 10,000 people in that hole, but I throw the rope down. What you think is going to happen when somebody see the rope go down? They, oh shit, the rope, yo, get the rope, right? They gonna run to the rope because they want to get out the hole too, because they don't want to be down there suffering, right?
I thought that was the movement to try to get everybody up out of it.
Right, but what happens is
not enough room for everybody to go.
If it's only one
it's not enough for all of them to go.
Can we create that?
So
because we could create that.
Right, but check this out, right? So check this out.
What we talking about? Money, what we talking about? What we talking about? This money, what I'm talking about. Let's go!
Right? So what happens
if it ain't about the money, what we talking about? If it ain't about the money,
one rope to throw back into the hole. You understand what I'm saying? So now you throw that one rope and you try to be like, yo, look, I'm gonna throw the rope at this time. So it seems like you being a sneaky foul behind the back sneaky nigga, but you just trying to get your mans out.
You got a different plan.
You got a different plan, but the thing is, the problem is when you throw the rope down, everybody sees it and they say, hold on, the rope just came down again. Now in other cultures, right, they throw the rope down, the people who's down there waiting, they say, they be patient, they say, all right, take him up. We're gonna wait for you to throw the rope back down. When you throw the rope back down, we'll take 5 at a time and then we'll wait. But black people don't understand how that works because we've always been getting the scraps here in America.
So they scared that the rope never gonna come back
They
down.
scared that the rope never gonna come back down. So when the rope comes down, the first thing they gonna do is, oh shit, the rope.
They fighting for this, a fight for the
Fighting
rope.
for the rope to get out.
Everybody gonna try to get on that same rope.
Because we don't believe you gonna send the rope back.
Right, because we've been conditioned to think, alright, yo, listen, you only got one shot at this.
No, that's definitely true. That's
Listen
definitely
to the connotation of, yo, you get 15 minutes of fame. Yo, you gotta use that shit right. You got 15 minutes. If you think you only got 15 minutes of fame, you're gonna do anything you can to get to the 15 minutes just so you can start rolling. You feel me? You know what I'm saying is true.
Sometimes it's hard to be black, man. You see what I'm saying? Like,
It's hard to be black.
It's really hard to be black, but like I said, if I wanted to get at black people, I can't go with no nationality but black. You see what I'm saying? If I wanted to get at any black person, I would have to go at a black person to get at a black person. I can't send a white, can't send a Jew, can't send a Puerto Rican to none of the nationalities.
Puerto Rican, alright, hold.
No, you can't send none of it. You have to send your
You
own
gotta give the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans like a half a slice of pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Have y'all watched Panther? The movie Panther?
Oh yeah.
Watch the movie Panther. How? You see what I'm saying? Like, just they really wanted to wipe out black people, but they know they couldn't. They really couldn't because some black people stick together. You know. So what do? They go to different black people to try to infiltrate the rest of the black.
Well, it sounds like the Democrats.
And it worked. You see what I'm saying?
It sounds like the Democrats.
They flooded their whole neighborhood with drugs. They gave black people the drugs to flood the neighborhood. And not one black person realized, like, damn, if we do that, it's gonna fuck the neighborhood up.
Nah, I don't think that.
Everything was dollars and cents. You need dollars and cents to move in this world.
Can I say something? All right, so boom. That was the rope. That's the rope that they threw down, right? You basically gave the whole same scenario, but you used different, you know what I'm saying, a different object, a different, you know what I'm saying, scenario. But it's the same situation. You threw the rope down, right? Even though the rope was toxic, you understand? The rope had all types of poison and diseases in it. They grabbed onto that motherfucker. They tried to pull up. But when they got to the top, they was like, oh shit, I'm getting weak. Because all the poison's in the rope. Just slide back down into the hole. And only the couple people that were strong enough to resist and make it through, they was able to, they lost a couple teeth. You know what I'm saying? They lost some teeth, you know what I'm saying? Some of them might have lost some.
Moral of the story is.
The moral of the story is.
That's what I'm saying. That's the
It
moral
ain't no space on the rope for everybody at one time. The only way we gonna get space so that everybody can get pulled out the hole at one time is that we have to sit and be patient and organized. You understand, guys?
Wait your turn.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Wait your turn.
So hold on, we did go all the way left, right? So tell us, how did you get started in the radio business?
Like I said, somebody told me to come down to their show. They was doing radio, put me on. I had that bug. I talked to the producer. The producer said we got slots. I created a team, did radio, was doing it for years. The team I created decided they wanted to get famous because we wasn't famous yet. And they left, and I was still with me being humble, me just interviewing anybody, and half the time not even charging nobody, just paying the whole tab. The producer, like I said, she still let me continue doing radio, helping me, giving me interns, giving me guests, celebrities to keep afloat, you know, until she passed away.
Right.
And I ended up finding another young lady, the same young lady who gave me my start. We finally got together and we did shows for another 10 or 15 years.
That's dope.
You know, so it's just the humble of it, man. You could get a long way being humble, being nice, saying thank you.
Please.
You know what I mean? Please. My generosity. What can I do to help? Not just talking because you help me.
Right.
I really want you to succeed too. If I'm succeeding What happens good for me, I want it to happen to you, and then we could spread it. I'm not charging you anything for this. Somewhere down the line, somebody's gonna take that.